Hi. Hello. Welcome back. Let me just pause my computer so that there's no feedback. Apparently I'm a little out of the loop today. Power save. There. Okay, let's go. My hair looks so dirty when it's up like that. I blame my big ol' lights right there. But otherwise the green screen gets super angry. This is better. Wow! Thank you, Ash, for completing the first year and starting a 13th month. I really appreciate it. So, where did we leave off? We left off with the afternoon of the second day of trial. I'm not sure what I need to do to trigger day 2 of trial, so let's just run around and be done for a bit. Yes, load. I did get a trophy for talking to Violetta. Okay, let's see here. What items do I have? Repair bill? $15,000 to repair a car. Isn't that a very expensive car at that point? Dear Twitch, why are you showing me the offline channel home bar? I am not offline. $15,000 to repair a car. The fake badge that Le Tigre used. Matchbooks. The CD. Oh, I should take this to Shop Lady. Exactly. $15,000 is a pretty decent new car. I don't think my dad paid much more than that when he bought the Golf Sport. I used to never be able to remember if my parents had a Polo, a Volkswagen Polo or a Volkswagen Golf. But when they got the newer model, just before my dad got sick, they bought a Golf Sport Edition. Sport Edition is a little higher off the ground, so now I could remember, because Golf is a sport. Sure, Polo is also a sport. Polo in Swedish is also the name for turtleneck, so that's how I remember it. The Polo is tiny. Hey, Pro Sale. Losing horse race tickets at the dead guy's desk. And he had a meeting with the tiger on the day he died. So he was in gambling debts, it's fair to say. Yeah, he had gambling debts. And that's why he built the program to win the lottery, to hack the lottery. And the last item I have is the car repair bill. Okay, so let's go. I've never heard of the Scirocco. I don't know if that's available in Europe or if it's just because it's a very old model. Detention center. Can I talk to her? No? Okay, fine. Très bien. I can go to the kitchen here, but I don't think I need to. Let's go to blue screens. And ask her... Wait, hang on. Let's ask her about the disc. Scirocco. Would you mind taking a look at this? I'm sorry. That data is super admin restricted desktop access, password protected. Sparta? Wait. What? This is madness. No, Maya, that is Sparta. She won't tell us unless we say the right code word. Code word? Sesame! If it's not Sesame, then it must be her mother's maiden name. That's how it always is. Maya knows how to hack passwords. There's no point in having a password if it's always the same thing, Maya. I guess she just doesn't want to talk about this. Maybe we should focus on asking about Glen Elg. What do you say? Oh, right. I forgot. I can ask about people. I thought I did. Fine. About Mr. Elg. He was a top programmer. I would even say he was a genius. But he did suffer from 1 or 2 bugs in his personality. Oh! Huh. So from the Sahara and north? Oh, cool. Never knew about that. Oh, like what? He was a bit of a loser. Perhaps that would be the best way to describe it. That's what got him into trouble. What's the matter? He was a top programmer. I would even say he was a genius. So there's really no trouble at all. A model employee. Hey, wait a minute. Just now you said something about him being in trouble. We've got to find out what this trouble was exactly. About Mr. Elg. Was he in some kind of trouble? I'm sorry? Why would you think that? I thought you said something about this just now. He said he got himself into trouble because he was a bit of a loser. Oh. Oh, I never figured that one. 3 Cyclops? It wasn't a big spoiler, Ash. I just figured out that I needed to go here. I guess Mr. Elg is like every other man with his own pile of secrets. Okay. Present this, and we'll figure out what we need to solve it. Lottery tickets? No, horse riding tickets, meeting with the tiger and the disc, and maybe the lottery tickets. Glenn's troubles. So, how about you tell me what kind of trouble Mr. Elg was in? I'm sorry, sir, but we don't deal with troubleshooting here. Perhaps you'd like to speak to someone in customer service? What's she talking about? I guess I'd better just take a shot and see where it gets me. Miss Bassel, let me ask you something. Did Mr. Elg's trouble have something to do with this? What is that? A bunch of horse racing tickets, all losing ones. With that many tickets, you could get $1 at the recycling center. You good people are very, very bad. Cashing in on others' misfortune is immoral. Is that a whiff of hypocrisy I smell? What is the relevance of these tickets? The victim, Mr. Glen Elg. He had a gambling habit, didn't he? I don't think that's a logical conclusion based on the facts. Everyone likes to go to the races from time to time. Yeah, but not everyone buys this many tickets. Anyway, I don't believe that proves anything on its own. You're right, but I'm not through yet. Didn't I have a leaflet about the... I did. Mr. Elg's gambling habit wasn't restricted to horse races, was it? Where... There's the lottery tickets. The The lottery, horse racing. He bought a lot of tickets and lost a lot of times. That's got to have hurt his wallet pretty bad, don't you think? Maybe bad enough to be the cause of some pretty serious trouble, perhaps. No! Oh, I got it. You're right. Glenn did have a gambling habit. You good people must not follow his example, do you understand? Trust me, even if I wanted to, I don't exactly have the money to buy any. Yes. But if you win, there's no problem, is there? And Glenn had a winning ticket, didn't he? For $500,000? Yeah, but it's hard to imagine how he could have been in trouble then, isn't it? It's true that Mr. Elk won $500,000 in the end, but that was his first stroke of good luck. He was in deep trouble before that. Deep trouble, what do you mean? Mr. Elk's real problem was with someone or something more terrifying and ferocious. In case we didn't understand that this is where we use the tiger. Mr. Elk met with someone on the day he was killed. He even made a note on this calendar about meet with the tiger. What is the relevance of that? Are you trying to suggest Glenn was meeting with him to discuss his death? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Tiger! But I have never heard anything about this tiger before. Maybe he's not even human. Maybe he really is a tiger. I'm no programmer, but does she really expect me to buy such messed up logic? In that case, I think it's time to introduce you to the tiger. Fulio Tiger, aka the Tiger, is the boss of a loan office called Tenderlender. This is who Mr. Elk met with on the day of his murder, and it's just a block from here. And the only thing a loan shark would talk with him about would be his death. No! Yes. It's true that Glenn had racked up quite a bit of debt from his gambling habits. About $100,000, I think. $100,000. But I heard he won the lottery, so he should have been in the clear. Shame Maggie couldn't get a bit of that good luck. Okay. So the guy got lucky and won the lottery. What if he hadn't won? What was his plan then? Well, this isn't easy to say, but he said he would use his talents to repay the money. His talents? I suspect he was talking about programming. Well, what computer program is worth $100,000? Perhaps you good people should leave so I can get back to my work. I'm so close to cracking her. Program in question, was it by chance this? And now is when we use the disk. This is a very delicate matter. Without the necessary data, there is really no way I can access the information. No? Damn it! I know Mr. L created some sort of program. She can't deny it if I show her the program itself as evidence. I'm so close to cracking her. Damn it. So it's not this. This means it. None of this is a USB drive. Okay, Ash. Do you have the guide? Just tell me yes or no, do I have the items or do I need to come back here? The final item. Do I need to talk to someone else about the disk to figure out that it's a computer program? Whew. I need something before the disc is actually the right answer. Okay, okay. Okay. So once I figure out that the computer disk, that the disk is actually a program, it is the right answer. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. Examine? Because presenting it to her didn't do anything. So here's what I wish. One thing I wish. I know it's an old game, but I wish that when I picked up these tickets as a clue, they disappear off here. And when I picked that up as a clue, it would disappear off here. So move. Très bien. Move. Vitamin Square. I don't know what I need to do with him. I don't know how he's useful right now. Tender Lender. Can I try to... Did I try to play the disc? I don't know if I did. But let's go back to Très bien. And move to Detention Center. And move to Criminal Affairs Department. No? Move to our office. Present the disc to Maya. Do you know anything about this, Maya? Even someone as worldly wise as me doesn't know everything about everything, Nick. So I, the great Maya, I'm sad to say I can't tell you much about this object. Simply yes or no, Maya. It is not as if you had to give me a dissertation. Okay, so I need somewhere with either a computer or a CD player. Somewhere preferably that isn't Tender Lender. Is there a CD player here? No. Is there a CD player in the kitchen here? No. Did I present the disc to him? I'm not sure. No, I did not. Well, he doesn't have anything to say, so it doesn't matter. And there's no CD player in here. That wasn't really useful. Move. Again. Move. Vitamin Square. Let's save. Just in case. Move Tender Lender. Examine. Can't examine the CD player. Fine, let's present her with the disc and see if she'll actually try to play it. About this. More coffee? You must have more. No, thanks. I've had enough. I'm so thirsty. I don't leave the office. I can't tell you about anything except Antigua. Oh, let's ask her about him then. Can I ask you about the tiger? I mean, Mr. Tita. Cookie? Sure. How do you like my cookies? I bake them myself. Go ahead, Nick. The honor is all yours. No, ladies first, Maya. No matter how I look at this, I just don't get it. What are the tiger and this scary girl doing working together? We are lovers. That's not exactly coming across in your tone of voice. And I owe Don Tita my life. He's the one who saved me. The tiger saved you. Please address him properly as Don Tita. Otherwise, I'll have to. Okay, Don Tita. Of course, I'm sorry. You saved her life. I'd sure like to know how that happened. Okay. I think I've done everything I can until I figure out how to unlock her lock. Does he know about computers? Examine. I did examine this already. The birds. Hey, look, pigeons. Yeah, and here's for them too. Did you know that pigeons are a symbol of peace? That's a dove, not a pigeon. Poor thing. So they can't be symbols of peace and harmony just because they're gray? Is that it? You're overthinking this by just a smidge, Maya. This place is so fruity. That's not a bad thing. Besides, I love apples. They're among my favorites. And that apple slide is perfect for you. And what's so perfect about it? Oh, come on. Don't be a stick in the mud. Slide down it a few times. Go on. Woof. No way. I'd get covered in sand if I slid down that slide. Anyone can see that. Just put your fucking feet down. Yeah, you're right. Otherwise, I'd give it a try too. Oh, wait. I used to love sandboxes like you wouldn't believe. Really? You? Sure, finding iron filings in the sand with a magnet was my favorite thing to do. Oh, I did this one already. Blah, 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 blah. You have all the iron filings. Okay. This one? The orange reminds you that you're supposed to eat them. If you get Maggie acquitted, we can all get together sometime. Blah, 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 blah. I don't think that was super relevant to anything. Talk? Oh! Aw, thank you, Clock, for also starting a second year. And I don't know why you thought today is Friday, but Friday will be headspun, or if there's a sale between then and now and then, I have a few other FMVs on my wish list. Okay, today's trial. I'm sorry about what happened in court earlier today. Huh, everyone will be talking about being behind my back now. Dirty old man who was so busy looking at the serving girl's backside that he can't remember her face. A filthy, depraved animal. You said it. Not at all. Are you listening to me, boy? I don't care what you say. I saw that waitress put it in. You put it in? Okay. You're still not sounding not depraved. She put some white powder into the young lad's Javachino. I hear you. Sorry, I was just getting a little cold. I needed a lunch. And another thing, the young layabout was wearing an earpiece. Well, on the same side as the lens of his broken spectacles. Oh, him. Yeah. We're really sorry. So I made a little mistake about the vase. So what? I know what I saw. I tell you. Okay, take it easy please, Mr. Kudo. Don't tell me to take it easy, you spiky-haired brat. Take this. Oh, I wish Phoenix Wright was an FMV game, but the closest we're ever gonna get is probably that anime series, which is just the first 3 games anyway. You said you were a craftsman, right? Huh, the modern world casts honest craftsmen like me aside in droves. Surely it's not that. I come from a long line of craftsmen, right back to the time of the Shogun. Do you hear me? I didn't become an embroiderer. I was born one. Actually, I'm kind of in the same situation myself. I wanted to stick my fingers up that dribbling old judge's nose. That's a visual. and scream right down his ear hole, "Objection!" Oh, so did you want to become a lawyer when you were young? I don't think that's quite it, Maya. I think he's just in a bad mood, that's all. I've got a tsunami of frustration inside, and it's ready to burst out. So let him start rambling now. We might never shut him up. What should I do? I don't know. Cut in. Actually, we've got places to go, things to check and stuff. Maybe another time. Fine, whatever. Just don't forget, I've got a tsunami worth of grumbling to do. Yes, yes. This girl right here is really looking forward to hearing it all. Honest. What? I never said that. Come to the place where I work then. Here, bring this along with you. What is this? It's covered in seeds. A discount coupon for a burger. You really want someone to grumble at, huh? Although it is a burger joint. Did we get a coupon? We did not get a coupon. Fine, I guess we need to listen to the grumbling. Suck it up. Guess I better let him talk. So, there's not much call for craftsmen these days then. Of course not, you idiot. All I'm good for nowadays is running errands. Errands? Everyone takes advantage of the elderly. Buy some bread, Gramps. Take the dog for a walk, Granddad. Feed the pigeons, old man. What am I, some sort of 2-bit community handyman? Well... Buy some bread now that I can understand. Oh, buy some bread. Now that I can understand. But what's the point of feeding some seedy pigeons? Why don't people say what they mean? Get lost. That's what they're trying to say. Oh yes, I'm just an inconvenience, you see. At home, at that restaurant, I just get in the way, don't I? I'm sure you don't. Wait a minute, what did you just say? At home and at that restaurant? Do. Hold up. By restaurant? Are you talking about Très Bien? Did you get asked to run an errand there too? Yes, I did. The very day that young brat was poisoned. What? So on the day of the incident, what were you asked to do? Glad you asked, boy, because I'll tell you what I was asked to do. All of a sudden, that young lad slumped over the table. The serving girl collapsed. And I broke that vase. It all happened so fast, I was in a bit of a daze, you see. Then the owner shouted over to me. Excusez-moi, you, call the police. Call them yourself. Oh, call them yourself, I could have said back, but I didn't think of it at the time. So did you end up calling the police? Like I said, I was in a bit of a daze. Did you call them on your cell phone? Huh! Do I look like I have one of those newfangled thingamajigs? These days, even grandpas like him have cell phones, but I guess this is 15 years ago. I went out looking for a payphone, of course. You went looking for one? I couldn't find one right away, you know. Wandered around for 5 minutes or so. 5 minutes? So for 5 minutes after the incident happened, yes sirree, the owner was at Très Bien on his own. Why didn't you mention this in court this morning? Well, I would have if you'd given me the chance. But you all bullied me out of the courtroom. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You've certainly earned your kudos for today. Wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Oh yes, I remember something else. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom. It's not my fault. You're the ones to blame. You could have at least told us before we got to court. Is that really that important? Is it really that important that Mr. Kudo was the one who called the police? What's important is the unaccounted time before the police arrived. The victim was dead, and Maggie was unconscious. which leaves that woman, I mean that man, alone in the restaurant. Is Phoenix transphobic or is he just confused? Mr. Kudo might have been chased out of the place on purpose. What do you mean? Maybe certainly someone didn't want him in the restaurant. Ah! Oh sure, you go ahead and say I was in the way as usual. Yes. Yes. True. I suppose I could have been getting myself covered in pigeon poop instead, You need to get more details about what happened exactly. From Maggie and from Mr. Armstrong. Okay, I guess move back to Trabiana. Move to the kitchen. Oh, he's fucked the fuck off. Looks like Mr. Armstrong's out again, but the place is open for business. You can't have an open restaurant without a chef. Hey, it's not my fault, Nick. Don't take it out on me. Only a couple of minutes after the incident happened, Mr. Kudo left the scene, leaving Mr. Armstrong here alone. Missing when we need to talk to him the most. Maybe he's trying to avoid us on purpose. So he left. There's not a waitress. I mean, you could just rob the place if you wanted to. Okay, does that mean that Maggie's back at the detention center? I guess we find out. Yes! Oh, Mr. Wright! Hello, Maggie. So they finished questioning you? Wasn't it just unbelievable in court today, sir? Going to stay up all night and blog about everything that happened. She is still in custody, right? How is she gonna blog about it? What? Weren't you scared? It was pretty touch and go in there. Yeah, but you totally nailed that old man. Well, he was all over the place with his testimony. He's not the only one. Huh? What do you mean? Everyone else's testimonies don't match up either. Not with what I remember of the incident anyway. Is it possible she is the one misremembering things? Talk. Contradictions. Maggie, you know how you said that everyone else provided testimony that doesn't match up with what you remember? There are just so many things that don't seem to add up. The biggest contradiction is the other guy I saw at the victim's table. He was the one who slipped something into the victim's coffee. I'm sure it was him. But didn't Mr. Kudo testify earlier today that it was the waitress who put some white powder into the coffee cup? So you really think it was this disappearing man that did it? Well, he's not the only thing that disappeared. The CD vanished as well. You know, the CD with the writing on it? Oh yeah, the MC Screwdriver album, right? It was MC Bomber Maya. That name was scrawled on the sports paper as well. You never did find that CD at the crime scene, sir. Or the victim's medication. That's gone missing too. Ouch, my head. This is getting way too complicated for me. Okay, so let's present. The disc? Let's start by presenting this. Holy smokes, that's him! Huh? That's your phony, Mr. Wright. Just look at that ridiculous suntan. He doesn't have the tan in the anime, by the way. For the record, I'm not sunburned like an over-dried tomato, so I don't know how. He told me he'd been on a business trip to Hawaii, and that's where he got the tan. I'm not hearing this. Talk. No? Okay, present. What else is new? The bike? I don't know. The disc. I know I used to be on the police force, but I'm incarcerated now. I don't take much information in here. All I can help you out with now is the menu at Caribbean. Hey, come on, Maggie. Don't let your spirits fall. So the disc doesn't matter. This one? Ah, is that your attorney's badge? Actually, it's a fake. Holy smoke, that's it. Huh? That's the badge your phony had, Mr. Wright. You got duped by this. But it's a completely different color. And what about the fact that it's made of paper? He said the badge got it done as well while he was in Hawaii on business. I'm beginning to see how my phony was able to gain her trust. No. Okay, I'm just gonna go through all of them. That's the Très Bien matchbook. That you should at least know. No. No. Oh yeah, I've got something you're gonna love. Really? What is it? A lunchbox, just for you. Here. Wow, a lunchbox? Weenies, too. Yes, Dick wanted Maggie to have his weenies. I'm still not over that. I can't believe it. Thank you, sir. Did you make this just for me, Mr. Wright? Nah, it was Detective Gumshoe. Who else would make such a nice lunchbox for you? Detective Gumshoe? He's really worried about you. Looks like you put a lot of effort into making this, too. I can't accept it. Detention's under rules. No gifts allowed, sir. Hey, come on, Maggie. Don't be like that. The rules are the rules. They'll lock you up if you break them. Somehow, when an ex-cop turned waitress says that, it seems a whole lot scarier. And anyway, I hate weenies. She was engaged, let me remind you. So I don't know if that's true. She was engaged to a man, I should say. Oh, really? It's all yours, Maya. You can enjoy it with Mr. Wright. But... She's right. It's better than letting it go to waste. But I guess so. That's how we first met her. Her fiancé was killed. Gumshoe's lunchbox eaten with Maya. Well, how was it? That hit the spot. I love weenies. Phoenix. Oh good. I'm glad I gave it to you then, sir. What was that? This. No. No. Potassium cyanide? I've never heard of that poison before in my life, sir. Okay, maybe I have. But I've never seen it before. That's the truth. I wouldn't even know where the nearest potassium cyanide dealer is in the first place. It's not that kind of drug. Potassium cyanide dealers? It sounds like another group of drug pushers to avoid. In any case, this definitely isn't something you can pick up just anywhere. Ooh, curse my rotten luck. The criminal must have stuck the bottle in my apron while I was unconscious. Oh yeah, that's from when I was carrying customers' breakfast over to them. Ketchup splotch, you mean? My whole face was fire engine red thanks to that stuff. But you spilled the ketchup on your apron, didn't you? I don't see how... The ketchup covered the omelette went flying and hit the customer in the face. Oh, talk about a tomato red face. Makes me wish I could have seen it myself. Yeah, I guess. It was kind of a sight to behold. Lottery tickets? No, nothing. Coffee cup? That's the cup I took over to the table, sir. How do you know? Does it have a serial number on it? But I didn't put anything in it. I could never do something like that. That's right. You could never do anything like that. I'm not good at carrying those large crates, you know. Trying to balance a tray with one hand to put something in the coffee with the other? That'd just be asking for trouble. I'd drop something for sure. That's right. Is she expecting me to claim that she's too clumsy to have committed the crime? No. No. Some of these things they really should have programmed something for. Because she should know about the très bien floor plans and crime scenes. Ah, I feel much better after the trial this morning. I've been a bit of a courtroom proceedings addict for years now. It feels like forever since I saw a witness as slippery as that old man. He's not really that bad of an old man, though. Still, I feel a bit uneasy. Huh? I thought you said you just felt much better. Maggie, if there is something on your mind, you've got to tell us. Especially if it has anything to do with Mr. Kudo or his testimony. Roger, I'll spill it all and see what you make of it. Let's just go through all of these. No. 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 Just thinking about the trial that day gives me the creeps. Was it that bad? Don't forget that was my phony, not me. He was supposed to say, surely the defendant isn't the real criminal. But instead he shouted out, surely the defendant is the real criminal. By mistake. Oh, ouch. But like I said, that was my phony, not me. I don't want to think about it anymore. Trust me, neither do I. That's the paper the victim had with him, isn't it? That's what we think, man. I can't remember him having a paper, actually. And I remember something about this MC Bomber, too. It was written on the CD that disappeared as well, wasn't it? I don't suppose it makes a difference if there was one CD or two, right? And this doesn't matter. Talk. You said that you passed out when the victim, Glenn L, collapsed, right? Yes. It's so embarrassing. I mean, I used to be a cop. When I came to, the restaurant was buzzing with police. And before I knew what was going on, they arrested me, sir. So between the time the victim collapsed and the time the police arrived on the scene, you have no idea what went on at Très Bien. No idea at all. Why? Is that important, Mr. Wright? The other witness, the old man from the park, was pretty much chased out of the picture. Chased out of the picture? What do you mean? Old CD wasn't inside the restaurant because he was told to go call the police. Exactly. And you, Maggie, were unconscious. That means Mr. Armstrong was alone in the restaurant for a brief period of time. No. You don't think Mr. Armstrong set me up, do you? When you consider the facts, it's hard to imagine that Mr. Armstrong isn't involved in this at all. Oh, it's like the master biting the paw of the dog that it feeds. Are you sure about this, Mr. Wright? Well, the old man said as much when we spoke with him earlier. I don't know. The things that man says don't add up for some reason, sir. Maggie looks like she's trying to figure something out. Maybe we should ask Maggie exactly what she knows about old CD. Is there anything about Mr. Kudo's testimony that stood out as odd to you? Actually, yes. The fact that he was even testifying to begin with doesn't quite... Doesn't quite what? Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table... It's true there was another customer in the restaurant. Yeah, we know that already. It was Victor Kudo. But I can't really say it was an old man. Okay, then how about calling him a really old middle-aged man? No, age isn't the issue. The other customer was a woman. A woman? Are you sure, Maggie? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. So, what did this woman look like? She was sort of creepy. She had kind of a cackling laugh. Creepy? Cackling? Why do I get the feeling I've come across a woman like that recently? Okay, present this one. I know I used to be on the... Oh, no? No. So, they don't want to tell us about her yet. Are we sure? No. And we did ask about him. Did we actually get anything out of that? Not yet, other than maybe she was at the scene. No new talks. Still nothing on the disc. Is he back? Yes, he is. Okay. The main server just went up in smoke. Why the heck isn't the press conference set up yet? The superintendent's here already. Yeah, and there's a problem with the internet too. I already told you to stop using your computer, Chief. But I'm watching videos online. I'm catching up on my Asian soap operas. It's gonna have to wait, Chief. I'm throwing the switch. No, just when some young guy was about to confess to his son's hot trot girlfriend. Wow, this place is really buzzing. Something must be going down, something really big. Huh? What are you doing here, pal? Detective Gumshoe. You can't be here right now. You'll be roped into the briefing if you stay. No, I'm not cop. Huh? We've got big problems here today. Why? What's going on? It's a virus! A virus! A virus? There's a virus ripping through the precinct's computer system. I really need to ask you some questions. Okay, you know what? Let's start with presenting the disc. Detective Gumshoe, about this. What? I'm trying to concentrate on Maggie and the virus. Ah! This is it! This stupid name! I remember it now! I thought so. Here it comes. Don't just nod to yourself and keep me in the dark, Nick. What's going on? It's okay, Maya. You don't have to cry about it. The name scribbled on that sports paper and written on that CD. That's the name of the virus, MC Bomber. What? Yeah, the virus that's just infected every computer in the station, pal. It's MC Bomber. Can you give us any more details, please? Well. Shocker. Already knew about the MC Bomber virus from a while back. A group of criminals issued a series of demands to the head honchos of law enforcement. They threatened to release the virus if their demands were not met. Who are they? Yes, quelle surprise. I don't know. Some hotshots from the criminal underworld would be my guess. Now the virus has been released, huh? Yeah, it's in every computer, in every public office in the city. Everyone's going nuts. They're hopping around like they're dancing at a carnival. All this stuff with criminals and viruses, it almost feels like we're in a sci-fi movie. Apparently the programmer who made the virus was a real genius or something. The focus right now is on tracing the route of this virus on the black market. You mean someone put this virus up for sale? Yeah, and because this one's so powerful, they're estimating its price tag was in the millions of dollars, pal. In the millions? A virus can be worth that much? MC Bomber updated in a court record. Okay, let's ask him the other two questions as well. Okay, I'm only gonna say this once, so listen up. Yes, no matter how poor you get, never borrow money from a place like this, okay? Okay. If you got money trouble, just go on a diet of instant noodles and hang in there. We're not thinking about borrowing money, Detective. We want information. Oh, is that all? Well, let's see. Tender lender is considered to be even fishier than the average illegal loan shark. And it seems it ran into trouble just recently. Those guys have been pretty heavy-handed, calling in all their debts. Really? Don't go poking your nose around in their business, pal. You'll really regret it if you upset that lady. Alright, I get the picture. Hey, wait a minute. What did he just say? That lady? Who's this lady he's talking about now? We better find out what the story is with this lady. So what exactly is a computer virus, Detective Gumshoe? I didn't know. What? Look, I just go with the flow, alright, pal? And here I thought detectives were supposed to be somewhat knowledgeable. What's with that face, pal? You think you know what a computer virus is? Well, Nick, do you? Computer virus? Sure. I mean, only in simple terms, of course. Really? Wow, you know everything, Professor Nick. Yeah, I'm gonna call you Dr. Wright from now on. Hey, that sounds pretty cool. Don't you agree, Dr. Wright? Why do I get the feeling they're making fun of me? Okay, fine. I'm no expert, but I can at least explain the basics to the two of you. What's a virus? A virus is a program that gets inside a computer and causes damage. Damage? You mean like it makes the machine go boom and explode? No, the damage is, well, it's all internal. The inside was boom, right? Imagine all the case data you've got stored on your PCs here in the station. A virus can wipe out all that. That's the kind of damage I'm talking about. Whoa, that's scary. Yeah, and what's even more scary is that viruses are infectious. Infectious? Most computers are connected together on a network, right? A virus can move from one machine to another over the network. So the virus just keeps spreading faster and faster. Just like a real virus, huh? Why is there something about viruses in every single fucking game? Nick, why would anyone want to make a program like that? Yeah, it takes ages to type in all that data. Why would you want to destroy it, pal? No, people don't infect their own machines. They send the virus to someone else's. What? That's horrible. Oh, I get it. It's like you sneezing on Mr. Godot so he catches a cold. Yes, but they did just compare it to, you know, physical viruses twice now. Right. Then he wouldn't be able to turn up in court because he'd be too sick. You really shouldn't do stuff like that, Nick. It's wrong. Who? What? Where? When and why did the conversation jump to talking about me? Anyway, that's what a computer virus is. A bad program that causes damage. And all the different viruses have names, right? I kind of feel like I've heard the name of the virus we caught somewhere before. The name of the virus, huh? I feel like I've heard it too before. Well, we did just get that untangled, so present her. That's the girl who works over at Tenderlander. You want to stay away from her, okay? I mean it. She does look kind of unforgiving, doesn't she? That should be the least of your worries, pal. What's that supposed to mean? What could be worse? Her name's Viola Cadaverini. She's the only granddaughter of Bruto Cadaverini. That's a scary scar. Bruto Cadaverini? Do you know who that is, Nick? Never heard of him. Bruto Cadaverini is the boss of the Cadaverini family. The Cadaverinis? That's one scary sounding name. You can't touch them. They're way too powerful for the police. But you're thinking of taking them on, aren't you? No, I don't remember ever saying I was going to. Better get some more info out of Gumshoe about this family. Let's present him to... Oh, this guy, the tiger. Is he famous? Yeah, this guy's not a loan shark, you know. Nope, he's a big lone cat. Hence the name? Don't pay him back, and you'd better say your prayers, because he'll eat you alive. You're shaking, Detective. Like a leaf. I'm just, you know, kind of on edge at the moment, if you know what I mean. Let's check her. That lady's the boss of Blue Screens Inc., pal. Yeah, I figure she's clean. She's got nothing to hide. She seemed kind of like a doll to me. In a good way and a bad way. Kind of makes me think she might be hiding something. Him? You know what that chef said to me? Ooh la la, your body is full of la toxins. And then he gave me this bottle. What's in it? I don't know. The label says juniper. And I'll tell you what, this stuff works like a charm. I slept like a rock last night. Oh, really? That's nice. You know, let's go back. I'm not sure if I really want to get involved with this, but who are the Cadaverini? Who are they? A scary bunch of people, that's who. You're a cop and you're scared. What's that about? Trust me, it doesn't matter if you're a kid or a cop. These guys are scary. They've got some serious clout in the criminal underworld. We can't touch them. They've got too much moolah. Moolah? Isn't there an H on the end of moolah? They pretty much control all the cash on the city's black market. The black market, huh? And that includes tender lender, I take it. Sure, no one stands up to Bruto Cadaverini, and I mean no one. Interesting. So Viola's the granddaughter of some Mafia boss then. Yeah, and everyone knows how much Bruto loves his little girl. She means everything to him. So, how did she end up at the tender lender? I don't know, pal. But I heard she and the boss of tender lender are pretty tight. Tight? That's what it said in a file I read related to Maggie's case. Sounds like a pretty important clue. Oh, I can't believe it. I almost forgot the most important thing. And that is, you know, the lunchbox. How did everything go? What, the lunchbox? Yeah, here's your empty dish. You remember the weenies? I hate weenies. Oh yeah, those weenies. So, how did my weenies taste when they went down the hatch? Huh? Well, it was delicious. Yeah? That's what she said? Really? Well, not exactly. Don't worry about it, pal. I figured something would happen, so I came prepared. Prepared? What do you mean? I made a jumbo lunchbox. Oh. Do me a favor again, huh, pal, and deliver this. It sure is a heavy burden, in more ways than one. You can just imagine Maggie's little eyes sparkling with joy when you bring her that. Weenies. Again, Nick? Tell me we don't have to eat all these, too. Gumshoe's lunchbox given to Maya. Again. I really can't eat anymore. Okay, I think... I think we move to here. Oh, she's gone now? Très bien. Move blue screens. No one can eat more weenies. We're all weenied out. Present this. Okay, so we did this already. Let's just horse racing tickets. And other tickets. And tiger. And that. So I got a slightly different discussion, but that doesn't matter. And finally, now, no, we get the CD out. Well, this is it, isn't it? This is the virus that's infecting computers worldwide as we speak. MC Bomber. No! Yes. Yes, full health. Glenn's head had more processing power than any computer, but it had been infected with a gambling virus. Glenn was in too deep. Never mind. You mean he was in debt? Yes, $100,000 in debt. Not an easy amount to repay. So, yes, I went all early aughts on you with a Sum 41. So, he said he was taking on some extra work, something a bit risky. Risky? How? Maybe he was going to become a waitress at Ramien. Where did you come up with these ideas? So it's safe to say Mr. Alg was the creator of this virus, huh? The MC Bomber virus? Yes. It was a work of genius, in a bad sort of way, of course, but still genius. I love how symmetrical that line is, like right here, and it ends perfectly square. Something like that would probably fetch several $1 million on the black market. Inconceivable. Gumshoe was right for a change. This date, December 3rd, that's marked on his calendar. That was his deadline for repaying his debts. MC Bomber updated in the court record, yet again. I guess we won't be needing those horse race tickets anymore. Glenn Elk losing horse race tickets thrown back on the floor. Use the trash can, Nick. Nothing more to say. Nothing more to present. Move. What's the second thing I needed on Tender Lender to unlock her Cyclock? I think she wanted a connection to... What does he want? Oh, right. He got sent out and he doesn't remember anything. Hang on. Does he remember her? Okay, so we need to let him vent even more. I guess. Present this. Uh-oh. You said the bandage around your head was from an operation. You also said you suffered a fatal injury to the head, correct? Yes, the operation was very difficult, apparently. Now, by fatal injury, you mean you were hurt very badly somehow, right? Did the injury in question have something to do with this? And this was the car repair bill. I have here a car repair bill. From this, it seems pretty obvious that this car was involved in an accident. Let me see that. This bill is made out to the Cadaverini? Yes, it is. I don't think I ever introduced myself. Tell me, what do the Cadaverinis have to do with me? Something tells me she's not about to say hi and introduce herself. Alright then. Your relationship with the Cadaverinis is very strong, and this is why. Grandpa. I know exactly who you are, Viola Cadaverini. You sustained that injury in a traffic accident, didn't you? Ooh. Okay, so, invoice, Grandpa, it happened about 4 months ago. I was driving in one of our family's cars when someone pulled out in front of me. It was a motorbike, or something like that. I don't remember it much. Anyway, I swerved to try to avoid it, but... I took a blow to the head. Bad one. Yeah, I can imagine. So what happened to the person on the bike? I'm guessing they didn't get away with injuring Viola Cadavarini, right? I don't know what happened to them. They ran away. That's all I heard. Ran away? If they'd stayed, I'd have... Is it possible? Could the person who committed the hit and run have been... It was this man, wasn't it? He was the cause of your accident. Huh. It wasn't Don Tigre. I refuse to believe it. We collided. The motorbike and my car. Don Tigre isn't injured at all, is he? It was the tiger who caused Viola to crash. I can feel it. Plus, one of her locks just broke, so she must suspect it was him too. I'm sorry, Miss Cadavarini, but I have proof that the tiger was involved in a traffic accident on his bike. Because his bike is a fucking mess. It's not exactly a motorbike, but Mr. Tigre rides around on a scooter, doesn't he? And you'll notice that the front wheel guard is badly damaged. Miss Cadavarini? You know the truth, don't you? This repair bill was paid by Furio Tigre. Cadaverinis have known for ages who caused the accident, haven't they? Possible. Perhaps. Somewhere inside me, I know that may be true. I knew it. But Don Tigre still saved my life. The operation was very complicated. It was very, very expensive. How much are we talking? Very, very, very expensive. She seems kind of hesitant about giving me an actual figure. I should back off. Well, anyway, it was the tiger who paid for it, right? After I recovered, Don Tigre told me. He said he paid for the operation because he cared about me. I believe him. Really? Do you honestly believe that to be true? Do you want to know what I think? I think the reason he paid for the operation wasn't because of you, but someone else. Grandfather? Or because the accident happened on the same day that he killed this guy? This I actually don't know. Either he was scared of the grandpa, or it was because he was running from a murder scene. Let's go with the grandpa. Oops. Perhaps I shouldn't be saying this, but your grandfather, Bruto Cadavarini, controls a lot of dubious cash, right? And you are his beloved pride and joy. Sure, I don't know exactly how much the operation cost, but if you weren't the granddaughter of Mr. Cadavarini, you think Mr. Tigre would have paid the money? $1 million. Wow. That's expensive fucking surgery. And we got it. The head bandage. 4 months ago, I was in a traffic accident. That's why I needed the operation. When I woke up, they told me it was nothing serious. A simple procedure. Oh, really? Well, I guess if she recovered in 4 months, it couldn't have been too big. said the operation cost $1 million. $1 million? My grandfather ordered Antigua to pay $1 million in compensation. Compensation, huh? It's underworld lingo for paying money to settle a score. Basically, pay or get into some serious trouble. And $1 million? This has to be related to our poisoning case somehow. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to trust what Antigua said. He said it had nothing to do with my grandfather being Bruto Cadaverini. I wanted to believe he helped me because he cared about me, not about my grandfather. Oh no, she's crying! Oh no! Oh shit! But I knew that wasn't really true. Wow, I'm so sorry. What he did to get the money was evil. Huh? He said it was all for me. So I helped him. You helped him? In what way? Here, take these. What are these? Medical papers? From Bruto Cadaverini's granddaughter. He had to pay compensation. He was made an offer he simply couldn't refuse. Yes, an offer he couldn't refuse. That's what they always say. Viola's medical paper added to the court record. Wow, I feel so bad for Viola. It's inexcusable. Huh? There are two things that I consider inexcusable. Poisoning and betrayal. Only a coward would hurt people using either of these tactics. Is everything alright, Nick? We should get going. Right after we finish our espresso. Yeah? I won't need to convince Viola of anything else, so I guess I can get rid of this. Repair bill thrown into the trash. And she's left. So I'm done, but not here. I'm done here, but not completely done. So, okay, I get it now. The lottery win was actually not, maybe not, broken. Or maybe that was him proving that the virus worked. That could have been his, what's the word? Demonstration. And this, right here, is them negotiating. I'm not entirely sure about the mask to mask. But he wanted 100,000. He wanted his debt cleared for the virus. And then they started talking about, okay, maybe 500,000. And this is very complicated. Can I read these? No. Okay, now who needs more weenies? What am I doing with the weenies? The matchbook was just proof that he was actually at the restaurant. Is there something else to examine here? I kept thinking that they hid something in this, but I don't think they did. Okay, let's go. Where? Present. No, he does not want the lunchbox. Move. Fabian. Oh, bonjour. I've been waiting for you to return. Mr. Armstrong? Ah, good timing. Oh, sorry, that was Phoenix. Never mind. Ah, good timing. I was hoping to find you here. We'd like to ask you a few questions. Well, he hasn't got anything to say to you fellas. Hi. Ah, it's Phoenix backwards. Who are you calling Phoenix backwards? Ah. Come out from under the table already, Maya. Okay, hand it over. But what? You want to play games with me? I don't recommend that. The medical papers now. Uh-oh. I think he wants Viola Cadaverini's papers back. You mean this? The $1 million medical papers. Miss Cadaverini trusted you. That's why she said that she helped you. Forget about it. That girl's dumber than an eggplant. What is with all the penile no, not supplements, imagery, substitution imagery is what I was trying to say. You wanna know what's sad? I'll tell you what's sad, and it ain't only her face. He thinks she got power because she's Bruno's little girl. Now that's sad. Yes, that too, innuendo. I can't let you have these papers. Tomorrow, in court, I was about to go all fake Italian there. I'm going to expose what you did to get the 1 million you used to pay this off. Are you crazy or something? I don't care if you want to give it to me or not. There's 2 of us here. You got that? 2. Oui. Mr. Armstrong? Forgive me, désolé, I can't tell you really. Ow! Ow! Ugh, that really hurt. Is that all you got? I'll be taking those papers now. Armstrong, get that later. But wait, don't take it too hard. Phoenix writes. That was so stupid. I shouldn't have let my guard down. Those medical papers were vital evidence. Hold it, pal! Gumshoe! Detective Gumshoe? Detective? You think you're gonna stop me, copper? Beat it! Rawr! Whoa! Come on, Gumshoe, keep it together. You guys, get out of here. Leave this guy to me. But. Go, pal, and take this. You get hurt? Who's gonna look after Maggie, huh? Alright, thanks, Gumshoe. Wait, Nick. Don't leave me behind. I guess we're leaving. I'll get even with that guy tomorrow, in court. Tender lender is going down. To be continued. Ooh, that's the end of day 1. Day 2. This day, whatever. Yes, I do want to save. January 8th, 1946. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery. That's true. I just want to see one thing before we keep going with the dialogue. I still have the lunchbox. And the matches, which they translated into lighter. And the medical papers. They screwed up my entire inventory. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. And no, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You'd better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. I am super concerned about Gumshoe. I am. Hey, pal. Oh, never mind. I guess you're okay. Hi, Bubby. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh. You look like you've lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help. Nail polish? I have a very similar bottle right over there. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is the small bottle that turned up in Très Bien's kitchen a couple days ago. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it a poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. Oh, that's where the ear medication thing went. Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. For ears? You mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Alec was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Alec's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Small bottle refiled into court record. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Ooh, do I get to do fingerprint analysis again? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but... That's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Not unless I get to do evidence in court. Please, please. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today. Got it? Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. January 8th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. Okay, better. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting, as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday, we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony is plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's accounts, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Huh. Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. Did I read something wrong there or miss something? Because that was a very strange jump. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Deep. Very deep, Mr. Godot. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles. The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here, he was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it. Very well. Let the first witness take the stand. Oh. And you are. Oh, bonjour everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef of La Très Bien Restaurant. Enchanté. You know what? You know what? We need an add-on here. We need something else. And I will be right back. I will be right back. Because we need something. I am just off camera. Grabbing the thing we need. That this case has desperately been missing. I will be right back. Very shortly. Just a little bit. Just a little longer. Hello, I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef of La Très Bien Restaurant. Enchanté. Don't be nervous. Hang on. Maybe this wasn't the best one. I feel like the glue is slipping. Damn it. The glue is broken. Well, you know what? I'll just hold it like this when I talk. Maybe. There we go. There we go. Now it fits. It tickles the inside of my nose. Let's make this quick. Huh. Forgive me for asking witness, but are you a woman? Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am Le Pert and Parquet gentleman, no? On the day of the incident, you were in Très Bien's kitchen. Isn't that right? With you, monsieur. Huh? Everything feels right. Yeah, you need more coffee for that. I wish I could get a drink for that, but I don't want to drop the mustache in my beer. Huh. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Very well, your testimony please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Très Bien. Oui, volontaires. À Très Bien. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new articles that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Oh! That's it! He had a mirror. Ha! Huh. Okay, now everything makes sense. Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. La cup, la herpes, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no? Unless he's lying about that. He might be lying about that. Mirror. Oui, un grand mirror. The most enormous mirror. The best mirror. And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep accidentally using the terrible French accent for the wrong people. Just accept it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Très bien. Cross-examination. Today, everyone is le French. Oui, oui. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. And who were the 2 customers exactly? Of course, the young man who died, and the other, not so young man. You're referring to yesterday's witness, I presume. What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring it up, don't we? I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco that day. You were experimenting with some art deco. How come I never heard of that before today? You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur? Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before? But I did, just a few moments ago. Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong? This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decoctor? What? What? Decoctor. No, Art Deco. It is a style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design. Walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. Ah, yes, of course. That deco. What's decoctor? I'm super confused. I was trying to achieve a more effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of la decor. Like having a large mirror between the tablets, for example. How big of a mirror are we talking about here? Oh, something about 4 meters wide and about 2 meters high. Let's see, 1 meter is about 1 yard. Holy, glass in a frame, that's huge. I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. I don't want a mirrored ceiling. The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. Mano. But I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? Yes. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudos or Maggie Bird's testimonies. But... You didn't ask, right? You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. Oh! I know what that is. It's the same word in Swedish. I did know that. Now that I hear it like that, I did know what that is. What? A mirror was delivered to Trebian the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This just doesn't add up. Let's look at this. So that entire panel behind him would be a mirror then, right? I mean, behind the empty chair at his table. Like, right between the X and the next table. That would be a mirror. Even if the mirror was delivered to Trebian, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Huh. You want to doubt someone? Try it? Look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror. Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object. Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, right? Even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-knot girl over there? And the ungodly cool guy with a mask over here? Well, right? Not the hair! We do not have a top-knot. You do have a top-knot. Mr. Godot is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument. Bien, logique as one le dé. So Ash, I remember you saying that I needed to fuck up something with his testimony to get the final trophy, or final non-story trophy, right? Could you be vague about that, but give me more info? La Goth, la herpes, and la glacis? You would have seen everything in reverse, no? It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but... Do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. That just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We just gotta dig deeper. Oh, okay. Okay, so I didn't press on this one. Everything? You would have seen everything in reverse. Hey Nick, we should take a sec and think about what old CD said in his testimony. How did he phrase it again? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. If you saw everything the way he described reflected in the mirror, and everything he says he saw on the left side was actually on the right, huh? And that clears up all the problems with the testimony, I guess. Or does it? Does it? No, because he still wore the thing on his left eye. Huh. It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror. Blah, 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 blah. I guess we just present this. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens on his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement, you see, monsieur, now that you think about it, it is not so odd, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Okay, I need, you know what, screw this. Order, order, Mr. Wright is correct. If the victim genuinely observed, if the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece, to have been over his right eye. How bitter. Right, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume. That I broke the vase? Sorry, apology, I mean Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Alec? Clearly it's the victim's eyepiece. No, it's the fact that he's fucking dead. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Alec, the HMD, made a big impression on an old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear, you hear? His left ear. Huh. Well, try it. Ugh. That's the worst, but best impression of Kudo ever. Wow, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Godot's good. Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you just found is just rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. No, your ears and coffee. And I'm ears and mustache. Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant. The mirror. Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? The mirror was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. Oh, so he wouldn't have seen Phoenix? Or fake Phoenix? There is only one seat from which you can have seen the image of the victim. No, there is not. There's also lower bottom corner. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. No, he could still have been sitting right below. True. That seat wouldn't use the mirror. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. You didn't touch anything else, except you did, and I have proof. I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like these. Don't worry about it. This is off-center. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. Oh, this is even worse. Oh, I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Well, yes, of course. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. The mirror. The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. So run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct? Oui? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way. Look who's talking, Wright. Huh? You're obstructing my view, among other things. But, this is my seat in the courtroom. Fabienne's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Okay, you know, this is tickling inside of my nose now. Unlike you, Wright. I tell you, monsieur, the mirror was there in the middle of the restaurant. Yeah. There is only one seat from which you could have seen the image of the victim. And where would that be? Oh la la, look how you lean towards me. I have always attracted the younger men. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer. Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once. I attract the older ones too, you know. Handsome. Shall I tease you too? That's 3, right? I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. I bet she has mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume. Bien, I will tell you. There was only one seat from which you could have seen. That was the seat at the table next to la victims. That was where the old man was sitting. So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat? Ah, monsieur, it's obvious. Oh, if you look at the plans, you'll understand. The victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you were sitting at the table next to him, you would see everything, no? That's the seat old Seedy was sitting in on that day, when the poisoning happened. The old man was sitting at a table next to the victim? Why does that seem kind of odd? After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. Did you move the mirror while Mr. Kudo was off calling the police? Oui, exactement. I carried it out of the restaurant then. You moved a huge mirror like that, all by yourself. What can I say? I know how to pick things up, handsome. Yeah. Godot actually laughed at something. Well, given the witness's physique, I suppose it's possible. Did you move anything else from the crime scene, Mr. Armstrong? I look like the obliging type, no? But naturally, I did not touch anything in. Are you sure about that? I touched nothing except the mirror. Mr. Wright, is there something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene? Yeah, there is. I just can't put my finger on what exactly. Huh. Suffering from a case of heartburn, right? Oh, I have just the thing for that. An oil with golden myrrh and frankincense. Add a few drops to your coffee and voila, enjoy. Focus, Phoenix, breathe. I need to ignore those two and just find some evidence. It's pretty strange though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have, but Maggie didn't, and neither did old CD. And the only logical explanation is that there was no mirror inside Trebien that day. Now I've just got to prove it, somehow. Okay, so let's go to here. You didn't touch anything else. Are we sure? The witness's statement is... Oh no, that's not it. Damn it. What did he touch? Oh, he stole a lottery ticket. No, I didn't mean to press that one. I meant to press R1. Right? He didn't touch anything else. This one. Let's try this one. No? Damn it. He might have moved that, but it might also be the tiger. This is not from the crime scene. This is not from the crime scene. He didn't take that. The tiger took that. And that. So the ticket? Must be the ticket. No? That's not it either? Damn it. So he took this photograph after he moved the mirror, right? Huh? What's huh? Oh, there's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the mirror. True. That is true. But that still wouldn't reverse it. That is also true. Yes, that means Victor was sitting right over my head, right on the top, next to the kitchen door, where he wouldn't have seen the tiger without a mirror. He still might not have been able to see the tiger. I'm not sure how reflections work like that. But we know where the victim was sitting. That has been established. Are you trying to drop a hint at me? Because if so, I am not picking it up. Yeah, he spilled the vase. Oh! Oh, thank you. Because the vase isn't broken there. You did drop a hint that I didn't get. You didn't touch anything else. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna save because I don't want to run out of light. I'm gonna save right here. If this is the wrong place to do this. Oh, it's not good. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes. The photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? Huh, sounds like you're describing yourself, Wright. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is the something that should not exist in this photo? That would be the vase. I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture. The vase? What possible connection does that have to do with this witness's testimony? Your Honor, I am telling you that there should have been no vase at this table, because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there's an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not in fact sitting at a table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Don't be an idiot, Wright. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Trebien that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Buncha! Don't try to confuse the court, Wright. Obviously, the victim cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Okay, I'm done with the mustache. It's just ridiculous. Unfortunately, Mr. Goodo, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary, in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he could not hear? Huh. You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trice, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? I can answer this, and I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction then? There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us. There was another man at the victim's table, and there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. Well, the ear doctor did not make a mistake. Or maybe he did. I mean, Mr. Kudo was there. The victim was the phony? It could be that. Hang on, let me just... Died between 1:30 and 2:30. The radio show starts at 1:30. So he was listening to the radio to win the lottery. But if he won the lottery, I would not have been able to sit quietly and just, oh, I just won $500,000. Okay. Maybe I'll order coffee. Maybe I'll have dessert. I would have been up, jumping around like an idiot. And when did the call come in to the police? We don't have that. Do we? Call the police by payphone. So they could have faked the murder. No, but he's orange. He's too orange to look like him. So the victim can't be a phony. And it is left, if the autopsy, I don't think the autopsy was wrong. Unless it wasn't the autopsy that mentioned that. I'm having an existential crisis. Did Mr. Kudo make a mistake? Did the ear doctor make a mistake? Or was the victim a phony to lure everyone into when the murder actually happened? Was that entire thing just a parade? I don't know. I mean, it's been established that Mr. Kudo made a mistake, made several mistakes in fact. Was this one of them? These are not rhetorical questions. Those of you who are watching with a guide may absolutely answer me and just stop my blabbering. Because I do not confidently know the answer here. Pretty please help me. I am a poor French woman who's very confused. I need some assistance. Please. Thank you. This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet there's one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenelg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Who needs logic? Order in the court. Settle down, I'll clear the courtroom. Please. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say? Right. Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Yes. Someone pretended to be Mr. Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning, all for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. Get real, Wright. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was the most insistent about in his testimony was the serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's so hard to believe, but there was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there was no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. Yeah, but he's also being blackmailed for $500,000. That's right. Well, witness? Your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics. You would have known about it, correct? Oh la la, this is most difficult for me. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Très Bien that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day. We in the restaurant, witness testimony. La victime, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant to lunch. I remember the old man arriving not long after him. Oh, okay. Thank you. There were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Monsieur Elg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for Phony to do the acting. I have to ask, how many minutes after, before, what time is it? Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all. Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly. What you have just done is committing perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please. He took that perjury charge a little bit too well. I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. In the restaurant, cross-examination. La victime, Monsieur Elk, he came to my restaurant alone. Was he alone at his table as well? Mais oui, I saw him from the kitchen. Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table. Huh. Unfortunately for you, Wright. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet taste. What kind of coffee has he been drinking? It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet. Yes, it is. Very true. Mostly just bitter in my case, but that's a different story. Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct? Oui, he comes often for my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip, just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome, anytime. I said it was worth one sip and nothing more. So old Mr. Coot arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. How many minutes after? So you're saying that not much time elapsed between when the victim and Mr. Kudo arrived? Oui, that is correct. But that still leaves the possibility that something happened in that gap of time. And by your recollection, how much time would you say elapsed? Let me see. Approximately 2 minutes, I would say. 2 minutes, that's all? Seems unlikely that anything untoward could have happened in such a short time. Rats, I knew I shouldn't have pursued this line of questioning. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, right? Oui, he comes often for my special coffee. Blah 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 blah. It is terrible coffee. And now, can I ask what time is it? Yes. probably. Hopefully. Otherwise I'll redo this offline. Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived? Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur. I believe we were told by witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m., no? Just after 2, huh? Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful. I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony. Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do for you. You know it's true. Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. Yes, probably everything I do it for you. I remember the old man arrived not long after him, just after 2 p.m. Are you absolutely sure about the time? When I think really hard, I'm sure it was just after 2. Oui. It is the time of serving the lunch menu. Quite right, I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. You never break for lunch! I've been known to wind up a case early just to make it on time. You never break for lunch. I guess you should never get between a hungry judge and his lunch. He never breaks for lunch! Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already. Witness, get on with your testimony, please. There were no other customers. So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim. How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Wright? You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice. Huh? You're trying to establish the presence of a phone victim in the restaurant. But you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee if you catch my drift. There's a hole in this testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. When he got word he won la lottery, Monsignor L became very excited. Did you see him? No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, yes, $500,000! Presumably the defendant heard that too then, correct? Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove. And what about Mr. Kudo? The old man choked on some birdseed that got stuck in his throat. Seems we now have yet another incident on our hands. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. And what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill. I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur. Sorry? What do you mean? There is la renowned chef, John Armstrong, and la tragique pour Clarice Armstrong. Clarice? Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef in $500,000 of debt, cooking for a man who won $500,000 on la lottery. It is called Pourquoi, means why. Perhaps I could recite it for la croix. Please don't. No, there was no time for a pony to do the acting. You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred? I asked the old man to call from the payphone. By your own argument, Wright. The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so that the old man could see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear. Indeed. Yeah, it seems like shadow of doubt has been lifted, n'est-ce pas? Yes, Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh? Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Alg, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all. But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too? She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? You mean that's when the phony staged his act? We'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony. You know what? I'm gonna save. Yeah. Because I'm not entirely sure where to press. We know that he was in the restaurant at 1:30. Because that's when the lottery starts. Do I press that here? Or do I press that here? Let's try here. Or present, I should say, not press. Where's the thing? There's the thing. I'm afraid I've finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. What? What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Oui, that must be la show Monsieur Ali was listening to. I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder... You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oui, oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time, because I had just been serving la lunch menu. Get to the point, try it if you have one. That show was broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30? Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy would have occurred after 2 p.m. because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over, there's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Très Bien that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy? Quite a performance, Wright. You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your songs. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony Elg is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell it out for the court. However, at that time the real Glen Elg was already dead. That's certainly the obvious conclusion. Thank you, Wright. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. But what? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. That customer was the phony Glen Elg. Then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Ah! Good point. Prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. Your theory is to stand up to examination by the court. You must provide us with a proof by answering the prosecution's questions. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Wright. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. L concealed? He must have been in the kitchen, and that's when he dropped the eardrops. When they moved the body back and forth. But I'm gonna save again. Yes. It would have been today. It would have been too dangerous to take the body out. That does not make sense. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going back to the old they're fucking up grammar thing. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Très bien. Interesting. Where could the body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed inside Très bien is here. Ish. The body was hidden here. I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? No. No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me. Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Très bien. Huh? Quoi? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Alec visited an ear clinic and was given medication that day. I'm not going to try to pronounce that again. That was just bad. You can't be serious. The defense has had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. Alec. Glenn Elk's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu. Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. No. Order. This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenelg? Never. I could not do such an horrible thing. No. Mr. Goodell? The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same thing to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend? Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must air me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor. Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it? No, absolutely no. Let's hear it. You've got one shot, right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel. Oui, it is clear. What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong. The confession, witness testimony. It is true, I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him, I swear it. You must believe me. You were forced? By who? I cannot say, or I will be erased. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elg died, was he really the only person at his table? There was. There was another man. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. Damn it. Damn it, damn it. I guess I need to replay this entire section offline. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. It is true, I hid the body in the kitchen. Did you carry the body by yourself? Oui, I carried him, and I carried Maggie too. Maggie too? When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there. Why did you hide the bodies? A man forced me to do it, I had no choice. What man? Who was he? No, I cannot say. I fear for my life. He's really scared. We just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. If you won't tell me, I'll tell him. But why would you go along with this man? I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong? You know, monsieur. Yes? Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment. Maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to redo, like, that's why I save on separate slots every time. But I'll figure it out. And a bit too male. I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason, so I'll just have to prove it with evidence. But I did not kill him, I swear it, you must believe me. So, you are claiming that all you did was hide the bodies, is that correct? Oui, that's right. If we are to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this. He's already confessed this much. You might as well stop dancing around the real issue. Yeah, but he really doesn't want to tell us who the killer is. Then sock it to him, Nick. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So... there's a reason why I couldn't refuse. And that is... you were in debt. You have a $500,000 debt, don't you? $500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong? Oui, je suis désolé. I was weak and I borrowed la money. This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man. A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you. It is as you say, Mr. Armstrong. That guy, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting la victime to demand that he pay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried la body and la inconscious Maggie out of la dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. And that face he keeps making is just so disturbing. And it's also more of a dog face than a cat face. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well? No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable. Mr. Godot. You will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. No? 30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, right? No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess, and I need to use the bathroom, so I will be right back. Okay, let's keep going. Hi. Thank you for holding. January 8th, 1:21 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. So we're finally gonna see the tiger on the stand. We almost got this case won by now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know anything. We don't know if what he testified is the truth.
I still have, like, mustache hair up my nose.
You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I could have left it on this music, that would have been fine. I could have just pressed back and left it at the screen. You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know. But if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're gonna need. Hey, pal! Speaking of case-making evidence... Detective Gumshoe. Hang on, let me just put the blanket away. I'm suddenly warm. What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Topknot. It's not a topknot. Never mind about the hair, just calm down, okay? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up. Ah, no kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have a real decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour. You bet? In that case, would you mind checking the prints out on this for me? I think we need this, right? Right? I feel like this is it. If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? You know what? Some countries, I'm sure they're super organized and you can't just update evidence in the middle of a trial. I'm sure this would be fine wherever. I mean, I have seen Murder in Paradise, and that is quite a mess. Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on this belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. I'll try not to. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. January 8th, 1:56 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furiotiga? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job. No problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furiotiga, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Then you did not fucking tame him. Very well, please show Mr. Tiger to the stand. Okay. Ah! Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there's room for me down there, too. What'd you say to me? Nothing? I didn't say nothing. Honest. Who would have guessed that fear would induce a Brad Brooklyn accent into the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the judge? Your honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it. We're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of me, eunuch. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I have more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You did not do Phoenix Wright on the day of the murder. That is one thing I'm sure of. You the one who set this up, didn't you? You're gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Well, he did technically answer, what did you do on the day of the murder with Phoenix Wright. Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Oh, for fuck's sake, Phoenix. Get a grip, Nick. Yes, exactly. The tiger's alibi. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. You want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Oh, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. Yes. Arrgh! What is this? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000 and you're gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute, that's really not. This witness is. How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Cheers to that. Get on his bad side, and he'll bite everyone's head off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Are you for real? Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? The tiger's alibi, cross-examination. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in the office. Does this say where he's meeting the tiger? Or does it just say that he's meeting the tiger? Well, we don't know when the matchbook was dropped in the office. But that's not good enough. So I guess the only thing that we could use here is this. Right? Yeah. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tenderlander every single day. You want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Let's go with this one. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know? You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather sketchy schedule. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder, so now what? Press harder. Mr. Tiger, what do you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. This is a dead end, try it, and you know it. Remember the rules. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please. Mr. Tiger, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. The day you're talking about, I was in the office too. I never saw that kid before. You know what? I don't want to risk getting any penalties. So I'll just present this now. Mr. Teague, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Alg, but it appears that Mr. Alg knew you. What? Mr. Alg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger, and the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tiger, I submit that you did indeed know on Glenn Alg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Not bad. You actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with you to see how good you are. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing? Uh-oh. So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth. I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth. Huh. And I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tiger. Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court witness? Never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nail this guy. We can't nail him until we have the, bottle. The victim, Glenn Alg. I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn Alg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, tender lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. I ain't never been to that Très Bien joint, you see her? I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, right? Oh. Cross-examination. The victim, Glenn. Yes, I'm not gonna risk anything. You've never been to Très Bien? Well, we did find these. Mr. Tiger, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What are you talking about? We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant. If you've really never been to Très Bien before, what was the book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy? Why are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Okay. Order, order. Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. Okay, I was at the joint that day. What? Well, listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well, looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenn Elg that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. Stop it with that dumb face. Witness testimony at Très Bien. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. No, you did not. I see, you didn't actually meet with him in the end then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Huh. No problem. Anytime Trite presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays the penalty. Mr. Godot, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know, since you payin'. Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? Très bien. I was supposed to meet with a kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop siren on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. Well, Nick, what do you think? He's running out of ways to avoid the truth. I need to press him fast before he has time to think things through. I gotta come right back at him with a contradiction. Be careful what you press him on, though, or you'll get penalized, okay? So I think the next thing here is... I'm just thinking here. The disc. Because the disc was also found. Yeah. You were supposed to meet with a kid at the on the afternoon. I don't know if this is the one I'm pressing. He wasn't dead. That's not true. So he's saying that he didn't leave the restaurant until 2:25. Or he arrived at the restaurant at 2:15, 2:20, 2:25, somewhere around there. Because the cops were called at 2:25. We don't yet have his prints on anything. And that doesn't matter yet. I'm pretty sure it's the disc right now. Because this doesn't actually prove anything, because this is the victim's handwriting. Oh, you can't see the victim from the door. Thank you for that nudge. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tiger? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. Hmm? And no one escapes the phoenix clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Wright? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tiger. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear vision of the victim's seats. Clear view, sorry, of the victim's seats. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. The court would think back. You'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. That's actually technically a wall. Why, that's true. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. No, you could technically see that spot, like straight across from the victim. Like, I mean, down and across. That you could see from the door. So, from the entrance of Très Bien, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him. Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Elg, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenn Elg, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright revealed the identity of this criminal to the court. I mean, technically it's Viola, if the waitress put the power. No, wait, never mind, that one part doesn't exist. So it's the tiger. Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigra. No one else could have done it. But what? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dare you to say that again. Come on, you got the guts? You got the guts? You can't threaten me, Mr. Tiger. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright. Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You got guts? I'll give you that. But Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. You are the fucking judge. Huh. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godot? Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh, no, no, no. The serving girl brought him a Giavacino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. No. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Huh. Found your pen at last, right? It was in my pockets. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible that the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? Why, that was the not-so-much love of his life. Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Caravarini. She's an employee of Tenderlander. You're making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean. Stop shaking this. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true that there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. And she had a kind of cackling laugh. But she couldn't identify her from her photo. Doesn't matter though, I guess. Tiger. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table who nobody but Mr. Byard seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. and the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furia Tiger, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you. Witness? What have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? You are right. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? You got it all wrapped up nice, huh, Wright? You missed one. You missed out one important thing. That can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met with that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you hear? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tiger? Huh. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed, witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Très Bien between you and the victim? Witness testimony ties to the victim. Yeah, I loaned out cash, about $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won! $500,000! He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over. Now I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Alg was $50,000. Yeah, well, you got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know. That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. And the repayment deadline was by December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? He's just greedy. Ties to the victim. Testimony. So the tiger was meeting Glenn Elg to get his money back. If Mr. Elg had just given him the lottery ticket, that would have been the end of it. Yeah, so what's the tiger's motive? This is the big one. If I don't manage to undermine his testimony, it's all over for us. Why would he have to poison Mr. Elg? Or why did he loan him the money in the first place when he knew he couldn't repay him? Okay, so this is where you use the disc. But the $100,000 and the $500 and the bomb aren't the same handwriting. I'm not even sure that it's the same pen. This isn't necessarily entirely true. Doodle is in victim's handwriting. It doesn't say all the doodling. A winning ticket for $500,000. But he needs $1 million. I'm confused. So he tries to sell him the computer program. How much did he have left on his debts? You want it in round figures? About 100,000 bucks. That's the whole amount. We're talking about a guy who had 58 cents in his wallet. What? You telling me he wasn't even gonna pay for the coffee? Ha! I told you that was important. Except not quite, but yeah. He certainly seems to have been a brave man, this Mr. Alex. That guy was smooth, I tell you, real smooth. You'll have your money in less than 5 minutes, that's what he said to me. The guy then calls me the tender tiger. He was skating on thin ice with me. Yes, I won. $500,000. That leaves $400,000. He wouldn't have given him the lottery tickets. I bet he would have given him like 2 more days to actually get the money and have demanded a little extra. But he needed $1 million. And the computer program is worth a lot more. I'm still confused. Well, first of all, where am I pushing? Or presenting? You loaned him $100,000, but he won $500,000. But you needed the whole $500,000 and the disc. But if I don't get penalties for pushing, because I didn't get a penalty for pushing. Oh, right. If the waitress hadn't done what she'd done, he could have just stolen the ticket because the winnings were still there. That's a good point. The waitress, you mean the girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gone in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this one. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are you all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my 100,000 bucks back, that's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tiger had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said. The tiger's motive, huh? I was after the $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy. Yes, you did. Because you owed $1 million and he had the computer program.
Objection!
So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Alg owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my rights. Unfortunately for Mr. Alg, $100,000 wasn't enough to cover it, was it? Huh? About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? No, 4 months ago. An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. Where did you get this info? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. Payment for these expenses was due in December of last year and was paid in full. $1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs. Huh, no one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. Mr. Tiger had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Growl? Order, order, order. You say his life depended on Mr. Wright? Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Where were you earlier? Buddha Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Cadaverini demanded from you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elk's life to pay your debt. Order, order. What do you say to that, witness? Oh. It's a nice little fairy tale, right? And even if the witness did need $1 million, that doesn't tie him to Mr. Elg's murder. Mr. Elg only owed him $100,000 and had no hope of repaying it anyway. Yeah, that guy wasn't worth my spit. I don't think so. In fact, the opposite is true. The opposite? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? Do you know where you're going with this, Nick? You've got to think outside the box, Maya. Outside the box? It's very straightforward. Mr. Tiger wasn't after the $100,000 after all. Seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? What exactly was Mr. Tiger after? Glenn Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money. Care to explain how skill can be used as collateral to secure a loan, right? He had the skill to create a computer virus, and so he did. A virus known as MacBomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. Computer? What does one of those do? I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important part. A virus like MacBomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Mr. Tiger, you couldn't have cared less about the $100,000, isn't that right? All you cared about was one thing, the virus. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tiger's sole intention was to get his hands on that CD. Glenn Elk has no way of repaying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tiger knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tiger would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I. The lottery won? Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elk won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tiger with no way of getting his hands on that all-important CD. Oh, so I was just taking one step too far? At least no legitimate way. So you resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glenn Elk and then made his next move to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tiger posed as Glenn Elk, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Like I said, Wright, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about this.
Objection!
Well, he still owes $500,000. But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tiger's plan. Order, order, silence, or I will clear the... You put on a good show, Spiky. Huh? If you want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Wright? Uh-oh. What was this trick you say Mr. Tiger performed to frame the accused? Good question. What was the trick? Oh, he faked being a lawyer.
Take that!
Maybe. Hopefully. What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tiger, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. Huh. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here, this very court, a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I had ever seen. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man. Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Oh. Hey! Forget about it, yeah? Oh, that makes it look like he's wearing a headpiece. No, a hairpiece is the word. I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh? Have you no pride, sir? This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Wright, here in court we deal with people's lives. Mr. Godot was right. Your Honor? Speaking for myself, I'm absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge with a vested power to hand down the verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. No. If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tiger are dubious, but not conclusive. But we've come so far. You say he impersonated Glenn L. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. We will in 2 minutes when he comes through the door. Ha. Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger or you're gonna get mauled. You got that? All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Huh. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tiger. There we go. Thank you, Gumshoe. Your Honor, sir. Wait! Detective Gumshoe. Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this too. What is it, Detective? Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final, decisive piece of evidence. What? January 8th, 2:48 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results? About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle. Oh, so? Do you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So, tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it. You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're Furio Tiger's paw prints, alright. That's great. We got him now, Nick. No. No, we don't. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenn Elk's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This was our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal. Detective Gumshoe. But Maggie? You've been working on something for me? Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair now. Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. Only there was some way I could use this. Small bottle put into pockets. Well, why are his prints on the bottle? I don't get it. He moved the bottle at some point. It landed in the kitchen. That doesn't mean he moved the body. Just the bottle. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I granted you recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you discovered. Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Wright. Show us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Thank Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But you lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. Maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court. Yeah, true. So is this the evidence I'm supposed to present here? I legit don't know. I should have saved when I had the chance. Could I have saved? You say do it, that means it's actually correct. This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victim's? Your Honor. Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tiger. What? Huh? But Mr. Wright, what conclusions are you hoping to draw from this new information? Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains. Except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. My prints are on that fancy-looking bottle. Is that what you're saying? Well, what the hell's in that anyway? A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tiger, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... You know what? I can save here. So let's save here. Yeah. Potassium cyanide. This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? Poison used to murder Mr. Alves, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tiger, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? You'd make a good clown, you know that. What? You ain't never gonna get this to stick. You're just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger? Bluff? I can see straight through you. Phoenix, right. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. No. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash. Don't look nothing like it. Well, how did you know that? You just confessed to murder. It's very quiet. Got him, at last. What? What? Why's everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor, tell that guy where to go. You still haven't figured it out. Didn't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. You really had nothing to do with the murder. You shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You don't know who you messin' with. I'm the Tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped-up suit get the better of me? Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. That's just what you deserve. The phony trial with the phony lawyer was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all. Well, that's new. You got so angry there was a power outage. What's going on? It looks like a blackout. Well done, Wright. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, you won't be let go. Is that Dr. Seuss? Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tiger, Mr. Grideau? He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glenn Elg, Your Honor. It's not? It's not William Blake. That's not the right one. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Is it Kipling? It might be Kipling. Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence, the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. You very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Curio Tiger is a truly frightening criminal. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Is it older than Kipling? Oh! Oh, that's from Eeny, Meeny, Miny... I should have known that. I just don't know English nursery rhymes. I know Swedish nursery rhymes. In Swedish that would be Äppel, peppel, pirum, parum, krakan, sapper, tallegren. Huh. Also, huh. The truly frightening one is that the defense attorney over there, Godot? Well, I'm now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. Trophy? January 8th, 4:10 p.m. We did not break for lunch. District Court, defendant lobby number 1. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. Now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal. But wait! Detective Gumshoe. Oh yeah, congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. I knew you were innocent all along. Why didn't you say that in your testimony then? Huh? Oh, well, well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. And now he actually left. Wait up, detective. He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick? Now, let's save here. Because I have a feeling we're gonna give her the lunchbox in a moment. Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie, you know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, you practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it. I didn't realize it said weenie until I reread it for the 3rd time. But yes, we give her the weenie. Yes, I did just say that. He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it. I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know, I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. Where's the fucking lunchbox? There it is. There is way too much weenie here. Here you are, a present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies, you know. I knew you did. Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? Yes. So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good. Of course it is. So the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows, maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. With a lunchbox. that she has to return, all washed up, and maybe filled with something else. Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout, the end. Do we want to save? Yes. Trophy earned, Recipe for Turnabout. A brand new episode has been added. Yes, I do want to save. There we go. What? You recognized him? No, we couldn't have. So next week, the girl, let her go. Uh-oh. Who is that? Shut up! Come closer, and I'll kill her. Sorry, but you're not gonna get it. The chance. Pow! Splash! I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mafia. Fugitive data. Name, Terry Falls. Yes, Terry did fall. Kidnapping, murdered, sentenced to death. Fugitive movements. After escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. You mean for the first time, right? 6 years earlier, Mia Fey, first trial. February 16th, 9:24 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Oh, I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm gonna die. I never should have accepted this case. Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing. I swear I didn't kill nobody. I have a thought here. But that's because I read something I shouldn't have read, so I'm not gonna tell you the thought. I didn't do nothing. I swear I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? I'm sorry. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Sorry. I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? I'm really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture it. Oh, she witnessed, she was a witness 5 years ago. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. I can't trust him, right? I mean, I should. Huh. You're not going to figure out the truth just by staring at the guy. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where's Mr. Grossberg? Huh, that old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. Yes, this is what I was thinking. This is who I thought the other guy was. This is Godot. It's not a spoiler anymore because it just happened. We just saw it. I read it, but I don't remember why he's wearing the mask. But I was thinking for a second to myself, so the beard. The beard doesn't quite cover the tattoo, but the visor would cover that tattoo. But yeah, next week we get a little bit of piece of how Diego Armando became Godot. Or maybe we get the start of it. But for now, thank you for hanging out. I will see you on Friday for one FMV or another. It might be Headspun, it might be something new if there's a sale. Have a good one, and thanks for hanging out. And if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a like, please.